what we want to do, what we're hoping to do, is encourage people that age is just a number, and encourage older people, no matter how old they are, they can have better health.
Ron and Lorna, how did you find Carnivore?
Well, we live in a independent retirement village. Now, what I mean by that is we don't have any staff that work here at all. We have someone that comes in probably once a week, possibly to listen to some grizzles or whatever. But otherwise, we're on our own. And it's just like a Frenchman about 50 or 60 years ago came up with the idea, and I'm not sure what that was for. And he's built it like it's got a courtyard in the middle, and you've got all these 2-story units around the courtyard with a hall at the beginning. So it's really very French, and it's very old, but it's lovely. And so it's just like living in a department block. And one of my neighbours, I went down to see this person, and they had watched 60 Minutes with Dr. Chafee, and she was very impressed with him, and she felt that she could trust him. So she decided to do what he was asking, Carnivore, which she did, and she has health problems. She's a lot younger than us, but anyway, so I thought, that's interesting, because we'd got to the stage, Dave, that we were struggling getting on and off the bus. I can drive, but we were our health from about 82 had gone down a lot of aches and pains. So we were struggling a bit. We used to go home to New Zealand to see our other family there, but we wouldn't go back again because we knew it was too hard. And I thought, well, what have I got to lose? So I came home and researched some of them, Ken Berry and people like that. And on the 9th of October last year, decided to give it a go. And I told Ron what I was doing, but I didn't badger him at all. So he decided to do his own research. And on the 13th of October, which was a Friday, he began to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So as you well know, because it's a massive addiction, you do have a lot of issues when you do this. Could be even 2 or 3 months really, with your body goes crazy because it's craving for all the things you won't give it. So there were a lot of issues for those few months. Then in January, that's all I'm saying. That's right. Me finished. It's up to Ron now. So that's how we got started, okay?
Well, yeah, we're living in Perth, Australia, and we've been here from New Zealand. We came 7 years ago, and I have had a lot of health issues in the last 25 years. I was type 2 diabetic 25 years ago, and I've had a multitude of prescriptions all at once. And when we started this Carnivore, we've been doing it for 6 months, and when we started, it was tough. The first month or two was tough because you got all those years of eating the wrong things to get out of your system, and it is hard. And we've talked to some people, and they say, "Oh, I can't give up sugar. I like my sweets, so I couldn't do that." And very few people, even our family, are not receptive of what we're doing. And I have lost 10 kilos in weight, and my health issues stem back to 2003. I had a triple bypass because I had a heart attack, and I had a triple bypass, and part of my heart was damaged. Now, on that again, about 2012 or 13, somewhere around there, I had 5 stents put in. I had another bit of a, I guess, a light heart attack, and I had 5 stents put in. Now, you know, you think, oh, how long have I got to live? And at our age, 85, and that's why we've wanted to come on here, because age is just a number, and more older people should be doing what we're doing, and we can't understand it. They don't want to know. Most of the old people that we know have got so many illnesses, or most people, even not old, have so many illnesses, but they don't want to get rid of them. And I can't understand that. And we, so it's been a bit of a journey, and I have a list of a few pills that I've been on. At one stage, I was on about 17, but now I'm on. I get, it's actually 2.5. I take my 2 blood thinners, which I have to take for my heart, and I've got a metoprolol that I have to take for my heart, and half a tablet, and that's the only tablets I'm on now. But I'll tell you what I was on. I'll go through this list. You might have heard of some of them, you might not have. Easy Tumbe. You ever heard that one? And
what's that one for?
That gives you the side effects are headache, diarrhea, abdominal pain, muscle pain, and it's supposed to be for angina. Now, I haven't had angina since I had my bypass. I had it before, but I never had it. Since I've had my bypass in 2003, I've never had angina. And I found I was on 4 pills for angina. And I've never had it since I had my bypass. And the next one is Induralis. I don't know whether you know what that is. And that's another one for angina. And Giardamet, which is metformin plus another thing in it, which and the side effects are weakness, hunger, dizziness, headaches, trembling, fast providing, pounding headache, and I've had all those things, and my wife will tell you that I was taking Panadol like jolly lollies, because to get rid of all these aches I had. And another one was Lipostat, which you'd probably aware of, and the side effects are effects in the nervous system, dizziness, tiredness, headache, sleep disorders, insomnia, blurred and double vision. And I had blurred and double vision at one stage, and I lost my license, so I can't drive. But that's beside the point. And the other one was metformin, and the side issues of that are a cough, decreased appetite, diarrhea, lower back and side pain, which I've had, fever and chills, muscle pain, difficult urination. And I've had all those things. I can't understand it, because I had all those things. Another one I took was pantoprazole, which is when you have reflux, which I did have at one stage, but it causes diarrhea, bloating, and blindness, and all these things that these side effects for it. And I had philidipine, and that the side issues of that are headaches, palpitations, rapid heartbeat, and swollen ankles, and angina again. Well, I've had all those jolly things, and I haven't had it.
So can I just clarify something here? You're taking a medication that has a side effect of angina, and you're taking 2 other medications to control angina.
Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't make sense.
Because you trust your doctor, Dave. You trust your doctor.
But we came from New Zealand 7 years ago, and I was taking a lot of pills then, but not as many as I'm taking now. And the doctors here, when we went to a doctor, they didn't even review your pills and say, oh, you shouldn't be taking this or you should be taking that. They just left it as it was. And then we changed and went to another doctor, and he just did the same. Got my list of pills and just prescribed the pills again. And of course now we're going to Sanjeev, Dr. Sanjeev in Perth here, and being a carnivore himself, and having gone through that, he's that's what he wants to do: help customers, help people with their health. No, I can't understand that. Doctors don't know much about nutrition at all, or they don't seem to. But and the next one is Pradaxa.
Or side effects, apparently. They don't know much about.
No. And
yeah.
Pradaxa, which is my blood thinner, which I still take, it causes heartburn, bruising easily, and upset stomach. Well, I get the bruising easily. I don't get the other, but I get bruising easily. And the next one is Prazosin. Gives you nausea, headaches, lack of energy. What's that?
I don't know.
Oh, fast heartbeat.
Yeah.
So a lot of these things make your heart beat faster. Well, I don't need that, really. Did I say that one?
No.
Metoprolol. Did I say that? Blurred vision, chest pain, tiredness, slow and regular heartbeat, and for angina again, sorbide mononitrate, and that was for angina.
So that was 17 pills.
So 4 of them were for angina, which I never had. That's what I can't understand.
So I guess the majority of those, Dr. Sanjeev just said, like, start cutting these out, or
yeah. Well, he slowly did it himself.
What I did,
I
most of them I stopped myself because I realised, hey, I'm just taking too many pills. I want to live. I don't want to die.
So, I mean, the fact you're off all those pills is great. In 6 months that you've both been on Carnivore, what other things have you experienced as far as, you know, better health?
Oh, we just don't get colds, or my knees are better. Headaches are gone. Angina, which I've never had, and I've always had, the last 6 years or so, I had shingles, and I've still had the pain in my side all those years. And I reckon some of these pills have been causing that pain to keep going. And it's a lot better since I stopped all these pills. It's still there, but it's not as bad. Yeah, I I had my test recently, my 3-month test, and my HbA1c in July of 22 it was 9.1. 3 months ago it was 6.7, and now it's down to 6. I'm 6 now, and when I went to the doctor, he was over the moon. He says, "Oh, that's great."
You'd have thought he'd won lotto.
Yeah.
He was so excited at Ron's results because everything is so good.
Because prior to the 9.1,
That's awesome.
even in 22, prior to the 9.1, I was 11, average of 11 for 3 months. So that's what metformin did. It didn't do anything. So why would you take it? That's what I can't understand. And the other one is the triglycerides. In 20, it was 1.9 when I had it 3 months ago, and it's now 0.9.
0.7.
Oh, 0.7, sorry.
The only thing that's up,
And
Dave, is naturally is
the cholesterol is the only thing that's up, but I've stopped taking those.
We're happy.
I've stopped taking all those statins and stuff that I was taking.
The thing is, cholesterol is protective, right?
Yes.
They've got studies that show that once you're over the age of 50, high cholesterol is protective.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, the point is that I can't understand it because statins are the worst drug of the lot, and yet most older people are on statins. You go to these rest homes and the older people, and they're all on statins, and that's one of the worst pills. I reckon it's one of the worst pills you can be on.
Yeah.
Oh,
So, what other things have you noticed, Ron?
Yeah, tell him.
I used to have to wear pads in my undies, and I don't have to do that now. I don't have any problem.
Oh, wow.
So
really?
it's
Perfect.
improved. And what I can't understand, one of those pills that I was on, one of them was for my prostrate, which I've never had a problem with. And she said, "Oh, you can go on this as a preventative." And when I looked it up, it said you only stay on them for 6 to 9 months.
You've been on them
And the doctor had you on them permanently.
I've been on them nearly 7 years.
I hope a lot of people in their 50s and 60s that have gone carnivore and trying to help their parents. I hope their parents watch this and realise how they can turn their lives around.
Yes, and we are a lot fitter.
Oh, energy to burn.
I've been going to a gym to build up some muscle, and it seems to be working good, because when you lose weight, you do lose muscle strength. And I'm waiting for the day. And I came home, I was feeling so good. I came home and I said to Lorna, "Oh, I'll be running before long."
He loves running.
I used to run when I was young. I said, "I'll be back running before long." And I'm waiting for that day. It's not far off.
That's awesome. That's great.
What we want to do, what we're hoping to do, is encourage people that age is just a number, and encourage older people, no matter how old they are, they can have better health than what they've got. And when we first changed doctors, went to Sanjeev, he said, "Yeah, I can see the way you're living," and he said, "You could live till 100."
And he's always reminding us that we are 85.
Yeah, he's always reminding us we're 85, but we don't act it.
We don't act it, I'm afraid.
So, you've got more energy. All of these, your HbA1c's in a much better place than it was just 3 months ago. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And your triglycerides are like less than half of what they were 3 months ago. So, Lorna, what's happened with you?
Well, I haven't had the health issues like my husband has, like Ron has, but I did have, naturally, because we had decided last year that we wouldn't go. We got 3 sons in New Zealand and a daughter here. And 7 years ago, we decided to move over here because she'd been here over 20 years and spend the last years of our lives with her and our grandchildren that are here.
And great-grandchildren.
And we got married at 17 and we had 4 children by the time we were 23. And they're all in their 60s. Most of them have got problems and they will have nothing to do with it. We don't discuss it. We don't talk about it anymore. And so that's family. My problem, what I had wrong with me, I had there's nothing wrong with my hip. I don't know what it was. Terrible pain every night down to my feet. Just ache on my left-hand side. Broke me all night. Also, being an elderly person, and I'm sure there's a lot of ladies that had 2 or 3 children, you can have a lot of problems either with your bladder or with your bowel. And I had a leaky bowel that just wouldn't even know, would stand up constantly for over 20 years. I had to wear pads again. Anyway, probably about 2 months afterwards, all gone. And the money we're saving on not both of us having to buy pads is amazing. We don't need pads every day because it doesn't happen. So that to me was a huge issue. Asthma's gone. I used to have psoriasis very bad as a child. Slowly it's gone, but I had a bit on my hand here. And when I started Carnivore, it flared up something horrible, not badly, and I had a big one come on my leg, which I thought was strange, but I didn't worry too much. And it must have been some of the toxins and that coming out of you. And eventually that's gone. That's fine. I had sinuses, spraying stuff up my nose every night. That's all gone.
It's gone. Yeah.
There was just so many little things, so many,
Yes.
Yes. I mean, I can't remember them all. So, sure, yeah.
But
When we first started this, Dave, like and I think we've watched a lot. We went on Dr. Chafee for January and February. Very, very strict because I love cooking. And those up until January, I would find any recipe I could that they said was near enough to Carnivore, and I'd make it. So we had a lot of eggs and cheese, and I'd add a bit of this and that. I even made toffee at Christmas time. It's supposed to be all right. So I just love cooking, and I'd experiment with all sorts of food. But once we went on that course that he was doing and told us we could have meat, butter, water, and salt, nothing else. That was it. So, and because I'm a type of person also, when we decided to do Carnivore, within that first week, Dave, my pantry was cleaned out, my fridge was cleaned out. I got rid of every solitary thing that was not available for Carnivore. Just got rid of it. Being just Ron and I could do that, and we were both doing Carnivore. The whole lot went. Just got rid of it. So that helped. And so Ron and I were really pretty good. We went out Christmas Day with family.
Yeah.
We really blew it Christmas Day, but that didn't worry us. And we started Dr. Chafee in January, and we really were very strict. The problem is we've had now wonderful results, best thing we ever did, but I can't have cheese anymore. Terrible diarrhea. I can't eat cheese. Don't have a lot of pork, not fussy with bacon unless it's chips. The only thing I seem to be able to have is cream and eggs. And I make baked custard and we have a lot of meat. We eat meat all the time. So we've sort of stuck as best we can, and I don't make baked custard very often, I can assure you. We've stuck the best we can. I also found, which Ron loves, a minced bread made from mince. It's mince and eggs, and it's got a teaspoon of baking soda and a teaspoon of baking powder, but that's all. And I do 1.5, so it's a big loaf, slice it in the freezer, and it makes beautiful toast.
Oh, brilliant.
He loves it. and he'll have a couple of fried eggs and stuff with it. He likes it, and it's just a change. It's something just small, but it's legal. There's nothing wrong with it, except for those two little things, and they're only small because it's a big loaf. That helps, but we've just stuck. We've really just stuck with it. So, but we did the 2 months, and then we stopped. But it's just meant we're sleeping wonderful. 6 hours. I sleep solid. We go to bed by 9 o'clock because we just got to go to bed. Our body wants to sleep. And one of the big things that we discovered too, Dave, which was I found was very helpful, is once we stuck to it solid as best. We didn't have hardly any hiccups, did we?
No.
We were damn determined.
No,
we want to live.
Determined.
I even said to God many years ago, since I've been here, probably about 5 years ago, I can remember saying to God, I know it's going to be wonderful when I go home to you, but I also love living on this planet, and I want to be here as long as I can. So when we decided to go carnivore, we wanted to make sure that it was the right thing to do. And he did give me some scripture that apparently I found out this is the same scripture that he gave a lot of Christian people when the COVID injection came out, and he showed them not to take it, and he assured them with the scripture, the same scripture he gave Ron and I, to do carnivore. So that was it. We were off. And what I discovered, Dave, if you can, your body, your gut, probably, that's the other thing Chafee said. He said that your brain is connected to your gut. And that was put together in your mother's womb before anything else was connected to the brain, was your gut.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, it's obviously very important. And if we can keep doing this and clean as much rubbish as we can, and it will take a long time, we're happy with that, then the gut can start being in control of what goes in in here. And if we make a decision, and it's not cravings, we can like tonight, the village here, we've organised, the other person here that's carnivore, we've organised a fish and chip night. So we're not going to have the batter on the fish, but we will have a few chips. So we will have that tonight, which we're happy with. We've got a soda stream. We can make some nice soda, use a sparkling water and have a champagne glass. And we're drinking champagne. Nobody has to know. The other issue here
That's awesome.
is I've lost 15 kilos. So I've come back to when I was 16 years old. And my husband has got his girlfriend back again. The only problem is the wrinkles on the face sort of spoil it a bit.
Face, come on.
And the people here in the village, they think we're very sick. And they're sort of waiting for one of us to collapse or die because we've lost all this weight. And I think probably a lot of them, especially the woman, are probably a bit jealous because I look, and I've got some gorgeous clothes. I'm having a wonderful time in this new life of mine. The other important thing I think too, Dave, that I wrote it down, you know how we've got this PhD, which is the proper human diet. You use that word diet. I grew up with Weight Watchers and all those things, dieting all on and off, diet, losing weight, getting bigger. I never was obese, but I got plump, getting obese. And I thought, I'd rather name it proper human food or proper human life.
Why?
Because as soon as you say the word diet, every woman has been on diets for years and they've never worked because one day you have to come off. And when they see that, they think, well, maybe I'll try it for 6 months. And if I lose some weight, because the word diet's there, and I have a big issue with that word, it just puts people off because eventually they know they're going to come off. And you can't do that. You just, you can't. to me, you can't do that. How does
No.
that sound?
Yeah.
How does that sound?
Yeah, proper human lifestyle or something like that sounds good. Yeah,
Proper
because
human lifestyle, yeah.
yeah,
So
the-
that's HDL, you see.
yeah, the problem with diet is, yeah, it's got that stigma, right? I mean,
That's right.
It has.
it's technically correct. It just means a way of eating, right? But
Yes.
it just comes with so much stigma. Yeah, you're
Yes.
right.
And that's
Yeah.
what I know. The other person in here that is doing it, that encouraged us to, she came from a family that it was never discussed or an issue, and she's never ever had an issue about losing weight or gaining weight or dieting. She's never done it, so she doesn't understand that so much. But I come from an environment where we all went to Weight Watchers, we all did this, and good, we lost some weight. But of course, it's not a lifestyle. You don't think of it as a lifestyle.
No.
You know you're doing it for Christmas or something, and you're going to come off.
Yeah, but I'm doing it.
Yes.
I'm doing it. The reason I'm doing carnivore was to reverse my diabetes.
Yeah.
Because the doctors have always told me, now, you've got diabetes, take these pills, take metformin and these pills, you've got it for life. And you'll have to stay on these pills for the rest of your life. And, you know, and then you hear about people who have reversed it,
Yeah.
reversed diabetes, and you think to yourself, well, hang on, that can't be right, that it can't be reversed. There must be something there. And that's my motivation, or it was right from the start. But because it's worked so well, I'm not changing.
No. This is life.
Mm.
This is life. The other thing I forgot to share with you too, the last time I went to see our doctor before Sandy, it was probably about November last year, and I was trying to talk to him about this. And I wanted some blood tests because I wanted to take them to Sandy, so he did them, and I had to go back. And I went back, and he was really worried because a few years ago, because of the cholesterol pill I was taking, that damaged my kidneys. I had to go. I wasn't well. I went to hospital, and I had to have a drip for 2 days to wash out my kidneys because they'd been damaged from this cholesterol pill. I was only ever on cholesterol,
You were on
cholesterol and blood pressure.
blood pressure, yeah.
So I went when
antibiotics. You had a lot of antibiotics.
I had a bad urine infection. It just would go, come back, and I would keep 2 extra prescriptions in my drawer, so I didn't have to keep going back to my doctor, because as soon as I knew it was coming, I would take the antibiotics, and it would get rid of it for a while, and it'd come back. Nothing, all gone, all gone. And anyway, I went to him. He got the result, and he was so upset. He said, "You've got to go on some pills for your kidneys, and you'll have to go on them for life."
On statins.
I don't know. No, kidney, something to do with kidneys.
Yeah, he said you need to reduce your cholesterol.
I don't know what it was, but so he was really anti about that. He was really worried. So that was all right. So we hadn't been back to him, but guess what? Now I told him Ron's sugar level was going down. No, that's not how you do it. Wasn't very happy. So we didn't go back to him. We went to Sanjay. Anyway, now that Ron's got his 3 months and I've got mine, results from all sorts of stuff, we're going back to see him on Monday to show him. And you never know. He's a neat guy.
Neat doctor.
He told me, because I told him we were eating meat. He loves meat, but he's overweight and typical doctor. So we're going back to see him on Monday, and we're taking our results. So Sandy,
That's awesome.
He's been brilliant because he got me to go to a specialist about my kidneys. He's checked my bladder. He's done so many things that nothing had been touched with other doctors.
No.
You know, they just write these prescriptions because that's what you've always had. So I never had many. I only had the 2, but I had a lot of antibiotics because of my urine infection. And I had my kidneys tested the other day, got the results from the specialist, and he looked at me and went down the list. Good, 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 good. And he looked at me, he said, you will never die from your kidneys. They're small, but they're fine. So
So
we're going back on Monday to our original.
this is like the end of a movie when you get that satisfying end where, you know, the person who was bad, you know, gets their comeuppance, you know.
Well, Ron's a
Yeah.
bit dubious about it. Ron's a bit dubious.
I-
I'm the fourth run. I said, yes,
yeah,
you're
but-
going. You're going to come because you have to show.
Yeah.
And look, honestly, Dave, you don't know what might sink in.
No,
Because all of you guys and all these specialists, we watch them all. You know, don't end up on my operating table. We've watched them all. They've had an aha moment. You, us, we've
Yeah.
had what we call an aha moment. And who knows? He needs
Yeah,
to see
yeah,
some evidence. And so we're going to go there to show him.
But I talked to my son-in-law, and he said, "Oh," he said, "that means that you're eating this way," and he said that means you can't go back and eat anything.
Yeah, what if you go back to
What if you go
eating
back
normal?
to eating normal? And my argument is, if you were given poison, if someone gave you poison to take, and they said you can drink this poison or eat this poison, but I've got some pills you can take to counteract it, why would you take the poison in the first place? That's what I can't understand. But people just can't see it, honestly. And I
Yeah.
don't know. They should be saying, "Oh, well, that's good. If you're better, well, that's good." But they don't. They say, "Oh, well, that's no way to eat." Yeah, it's crazy, absolutely crazy.
Nuts. But
Yeah.
we love it. We
So-
love it. We wake up in the morning and we can't wait to get up.
Nice. I'm interested to know, how did you find Dr. Sanjeev? How did you find a carnivore doctor?
Yeah, that how did we?
Now, how did we find him? Nobody knew about him, did they?
No,
Oh, Janine,
our friend.
our neighbour.
Yeah,
She's clued up.
Is she the carnivore? Is she
Yes.
the
Yeah.
carnivore lady?
yeah,
And she found, well, what she did after watching Dr. Chafee, she made an appointment and went and saw Dr.
that's
Chafee.
right. She did.
Now, he may have
He
told
may
her, I
have
don't
told
know,
her. Yeah,
but that's who told us.
yeah.
So we made an appointment to go and see him. And honestly, I wish I'd had a video to
So-
take a video of him. He was so excited when we saw him on.
So
Wednesday.
my dear has been telling everyone
Yeah,
about Dr. Sanjeev, how good he is.
he's got a lot more
And-
patience.
And now we ring up and you've got to wait a week or 2 weeks to see him. That many people going.
And another nice story, one of the tenants here, residents here, I can't say the name or anything, has been a vegan for 30 years. This person is what I'd call a half-empty glass, you know, a sort of a doubting Thomas type of person.
Kind of
Anyway,
pessimist.
showed some interest
Oh, he's going well.
and decided to give it a go about 2 months ago. And he's doing really well. Still struggling with tiredness. We're still trying to convince him he has to eat. He was only having lamb and eggs. Trying to get him into beef and get him into fat. And he's very slowly.
He's getting there.
He's getting there. He's doing really, really. We're so proud of
But
him.
he struggled the first month because he
Oh,
had no
felt
energy
terrible,
and
felt
felt terrible. And I talked to him a bit and told him that that's natural. You've got all that toxin coming out of your body.
Yeah, one of the other
Like
big
that.
issues we had in the early days, David. I know that you've got a partner in it. We had terrible fights. We were so irritable with one another. It was awful, and it was, you know, it's a toxin. It's not a comfort. Those first 3 months, I'd say,
Yeah.
those first 3 months were not easy.
Were hard.
There was another person here that was very, very keen and was about, and did start, but within a week,
He was
felt so bad,
he can't. No.
and he listened to some other people
He
who
listened
said,
to some people
"Uh-uh."
that bad mouth.
So he went off.
Yeah,
And
I think that can happen.
Yep.
That
Yeah,
does happen.
I remember I was about month 2, I think, and my moods were pretty bad. Like
Oh,
I had a short a fuse, I think, you know, for
Yeah.
a good few weeks.
yeah. And I mean, we've never, we've been married 68 years this year,
68 years this year.
and we've never thought about divorce or anything like that,
No.
but all because we might have a disagreement, and we're pretty strong. I'm strong and he's strong. He's right and I'm right, so you can imagine what goes on at times. But we still love one another, regardless. But boy, we didn't then. It was awful. But it was just, I mean, what an alcoholic who goes to get dried out, I don't know what, rehab centre. What we did is we went into a rehab centre at home, of course, and we had the same problems as an alcoholic does.
Yeah.
Even though we might say to ourselves, I don't want that and I don't want that. Yeah, the gut's saying, yeah, I do. And we learnt to trust our gut to tell our minds, no.
And
Yeah.
we've got 2 drinking glasses, and mine says Mr. Right, and hers says Mrs. Always Right.
Yeah, so
That's awesome. So, what is your message to other people in, that might be in the 60s, 70s, 80s? What would you tell them about trying Carnivore?
the only thing I can think of is stick with you, son.
Yeah, I would say no matter your age, you can improve your health. And really, when you think about it, the doctor won't improve your health. That's personal for you. And when people go on diets and that fad diets, they don't ask their doctor about going on the diet. They just go on it. And that's what you do. I mean, you're accountable for your own life and your own health. And if you don't like taking a certain pill or whatever, don't tell the doctor you're not taking it.
I think that's what's helped a lot of people too. They've decided to take control of their own life now instead of relying on the doctor. But we're on Perth Carnivore, and we were with Dr. Chafee, and a lot of people start and they're really excited and wonderful results. But I think sometimes that's why I like your shows, Dave, because we watched that guy that left his church, remember? Shocker. And he left his church.
Yeah.
And he was just real, and a lot of people comment, but he was just real and he was just himself.
Yeah.
And we've got all the best specialists to listen to, and we've all listened to them, and to listen to Joe Blow, because when I look at some of the people you interviewed, I thought they're just like me.
People, yeah.
We're only ordinary.
Yeah.
We don't have a lot. We're happy with what we got, but we don't have a lot. But you can relate with the people that you have on your show. And we're really hoping that some younger people that are doing it and want their parents to have better health will encourage them. Look, Mum and Dad, please come and watch us, because somewhere along the line we all had an aha moment through something. And my son said to me, Mum, you're a brilliant salesperson.
Yeah, you are.
And I could sell what? Snow to an Eskimo. If I believe in it, you better look out, mate. I'll go after you.
That's her.
And I do. I cannot believe the miracles that have happened and given me a chance to be what I always wanted to be all my life. I didn't want to be plump all my life. I wanted to be like I am today, and I love it.
Ron and Lorna, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your journey with us, sharing your experience, and I'm sure this is going to be really helpful for a lot of people. Thank you.
Well, we hope so.
Thanks,
and
Dave.
Thank you for listening to us.
Yes, thank you ever so much.